after 9/11, people kept saying, "You're not scared to wear your hijab and all that." I said, "No, I mean, my scarf is invisible to me." But recently, someone looked at me and he said, "Hey, you lady from ISIS, get out of our country and leave us alone." I feel so bad now that I have to take my scarf off when I'm driving my car because I'm scared about my life. That happens to me in an area where I felt safe, then what would happen to me in an area where nobody knows me? There is a verse in the Quran. It talks about we are all created from different nations and tribes to get to know one another, not to fight with one another. Life will be so boring if we all look the same and did the same thing. Open your heart. We need to learn how to open our heart and mind. People will get together to learn something different. Music, art, food. You don't have to cross the ocean and go visit this country. It's right here in your backyard. Your neighbors are from that country. Why don't you knock on the door and go learn how to make samosa or learn how to make baklava? They're across the street from you. We want to build bridges so the next generation, my 15 grandkids, don't have to go through what I'm going through right now.
This 100th day of the Trump administration drew tens of thousands of demonstrators to the nation's capital, this time for what was called the People's Climate March.
We will not go away. Welcome to your 100th day. We will not go away. Welcome to your 100th day. We will not go away. Welcome to your 100th day.
So the 100 days mark has come and gone, and I actually thought things would have turned out differently. It's a hell of a lot worse than I thought it was going to be.
It's still 3.5 years left in this, in the 45th presidency, and there's still a lot of bad things they want to do. I tend to think Donald Trump will be impeached as president of the United States of America.
The man is who he is, and I'm not surprised.
The time we're living in is really a scary time. I have so much anxiety because I wake up and I don't know what the president will do or say today.
The way we behave as humans to each other, the way we treat each other, has now shifted in a very dark way, particularly for women and minorities and Muslims. And that, to me, is just terrifying.
There are going to be a lot of people harmed. A lot of people harmed. There are going to be a lot of people who suffer. There are indeed going to be people that die because of this administration.
Honestly, I think it's better than what I thought, and it's better than what I thought because I have so much hope. I have hope in the sense that we are stronger than we once thought. And there's a fire underneath a lot of different communities to demand more from our president and our administration. And I think it's been a wake-up call. This year was the first year that I really participated in gay pride. Oftentimes I have soccer, but since I've had my injury, I have a bit more free time. Honestly, I think it was one of the best days of my life. The energy and the enthusiasm and the colors, it was, so much adrenaline was behind that. When my ears were ringing and my knee hurt, but it was worth every single second of it.
This morning, President Trump announcing a shocking reversal in military policy in just 3 tweets.
President Donald Trump says he will ban transgender people from serving in the military.
You don't want to stop progressing, right? And not only progressing, but now we're regressing. So it's having to, really fight even harder for things that we've already had. I was leaving one of the most popular dance clubs in Washington, D.C., and there's people screaming homophobic slurs, throwing things at people, and I was so shocked by it because I'd never seen that type of behavior in that area. Still, in our country and around the world, it's not safe to be gay, and you're still discriminated against and ostracized, and you don't have equal rights. So, I want to stand up for people who are in danger.
Jews will not replace us, they say. And they meant it. It's a flashback to robed men burning crosses. There are flames. I think of the trauma of the Jewish people. I felt a kindred. I felt the hurt. I felt the pain that they must have felt, knowing that there are so many people who hate them. And hatred, why? Because a person is Jewish? Because a person is black? I don't know how we get out of this race thing. We can let it lie undercover for a while, but it always erupts over and over and over again.
Repeat after me. I am one.
I am one.
I am only one.
I am only one.
I cannot do everything.
I cannot do everything.
But I can do something.
But I can do something.
What I can do.
What I can do.
I ought to do.
I ought to do.
And what I ought to do.
What I ought to do.
By the grace of God.
By the grace of God.
I shall do.
I shall do.
Amen.
I went down to the White House.
What is it about the nature of a person's skin that automatically brings fear and hatred, even if you don't know the person?
I snatched back my dick. That's back. It's under my feet. Hey. Oh, yeah.
They ran across the street when they saw my husband walking down the sidewalk. He's a PhD from the University of Chicago, Divinity School. Graduated with particular distinction. The people were frightened of him. Why? He was a black man.
We are stronger together. We are better together. Black and white together, documented and undocumented together, trans and straight together, Latino and African American together. We are all better together.
Ain't nobody gonna walk all over me.
Black lives matter. And then you hear people say, well, yeah, blue lives matter and white lives matter. Of course they do. But that's not the problem. Those people aren't being shot like animals. It is the black person who is being shot. And the Black Lives Matter banner is simply to say, please, don't we matter too?
There is power